Alright YouTube, I just got off work. This is my commute back home today. I'll tell you what, I got these brand new gloves. Not sure how I like them yet, but they were kind of cheap. They were an Amazon buy, so I don't know, you know, the brand on them, but supposedly they got those little raised knuckles there that have some kind of protection in them. And then there's this little thing right here that allows you to use touch screen with your gloves on. I thought that's pretty cool. But the reason why I've got new gloves is I lost my gloves. And then as soon as these came in, my new gloves came in, I found my old gloves. So if I really don't like them, oh well, I'll go back to my old gloves, because my old gloves I really like. Of course, you know, they always have that break-in time period that you have to break them in, so I may find that I really like them. I just don't see myself using the touch screen yet. I don't know how that's going to work out. I don't utilize the phone while I'm riding. Alright, well, if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like that, hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you can get notified when new videos come your way. Cue the intro. Alright, so what I want to talk about on my ride home this afternoon is something really kind of, I guess some people like it, some people don't, but pet peeves, you know, and feel free to comment below some of your pet peeves, but just things that kind of get underneath your skin, things that you just can't stand that other people do. And you know, sometimes we got to work on our own pet peeves. You know, it really makes us stronger if we can endure the things that we consider as pet peeves. So, probably my number one pet peeve of all times is when somebody uses a pronoun without the proper antecedent. Now, if you're not into grammar and all that good jazz, basically what I'm saying is people that use words like he, she, they, it, and you don't know what that is referring to, what that particular pronoun that they're using, what it's referring to. And I'll give you some examples in just a second. I got to make a turn up here. Alright, so here's an example. You're talking to someone, and that someone says, they just start a whole conversation with, he said that they were going to go out by that place over there. Well, who is he? Who are they? And where is there? I can't stand it. I love for things to be precise. Stop using pronouns. Use the names of the people. Stop saying he, she, it. That just gets on my nerves. Another thing I can't really stand, and of course it goes back to grammar again, is when people do not finish a sentence. Now, it's one thing when you know, kind of put a comma in your sentence and explain something or add an extra detail to that sentence. But when you have forgotten where you started with that sentence because you've gotten so detailed with descriptives in the middle that aren't necessary, and you don't finish the sentence. Or something that really reminds me of is that old Saturday Night Live skit of the guy that never finished a single sentence on the Weekend Update. They'd bring in some guy, and all of a sudden he would never actually finish any of his sentences. And that kind of gets on my nerves because I really don't know what you're trying to talk to me about. And I like to talk. I like to hold conversations. But if your conversation is going nowhere, then I'm probably going to leave that conversation. And I just can't stand it when somebody has a thought and they expect for me to read their mind to finish that thought. And that's what a sentence is. I need to know the beginning of your thought and the end of your thought. That's just a pet peeve of mine. And I've gotten to a point to where when that kind of stuff happens, I get up and I leave. Because I'm not going to address the person, especially if it's another adult. I am not going to address that person and tell them what they're doing wrong. They're an adult, they should figure that out by now. Now those are some of my grammar pet peeves. Pet peeves when it comes to road. Most of you already know it. Is being on the phone. Get off the phone and drive. I've said it several times, folks. Get off the phone. I don't care how important that phone call is. If it's that important, get off the road and take the phone call. If it's not that important, don't get on the phone. Enough said. Another pet peeve of mine for driving on the road are those people that feel as if, oh, well, it's just a little tiny thing I'm doing wrong. There's nothing to it. You know, the guy that doesn't stop all the way at the stop sign. You know, they make it a stoptional. They think that, oh, well, there's nobody coming. I can just keep on going. I slowed down. And that is when people really get hurt, is when you have people like that feel as if, you know, I've come to this stop sign, I've slowed down, I look both ways, there's nothing coming, I can just go ahead and go without coming to a complete stop. Or the people that decide, hey, look, I'm not really parking, I'm just going to sit here in this handicapped parking spot, but I'm still in the car, so I'm not parked. Or the people that go up to a business that has those hash marks in front of the doors, those stripes, those hash marks, or whatever you want to call it, the strips, the stripes, that means caution. It is pedestrian walking, and you are to yield to pedestrians. That's a pet peeve of mine when somebody decides, hey, this is a place I can just stop. I'm not parking because I'm actually still in my car. That's not true. Your parking is the vehicle in park. Do you know the letter P? When you take that gear and go all the way up, or if it's on the side over here, it goes all the way forward. Yeah, if it's in the letter P, then you're parked. If you got it in the letter D for drive and you just got your foot on the brake, you're being very dangerous, because what happens when your foot slips off that brake and you hit a pedestrian? Don't park there. It's for pedestrians. Oh, I love this scene right here. It's beautiful. Alright, another pet peeve of mine. I am a parent. I have 2 daughters. And, you know, I think every parent should have the right to parent their child however they see fit, as long as their parenting is effective. Now, I don't want somebody coming up to me and telling me how to parent my child, especially since not a single one of my children have been written up in school or have received a grade that's failing. So I would assume that my parenting skills are, if not average, at least above average. The thing I have a problem with, and that makes it as a pet peeve of mine when it comes to parenting, is that person that always talks about someone else's bad parenting, but yet their own children run the household. They talk about bad parenting, and yet they aren't that great of parents themselves. That's a pet peeve of mine. Don't sit there and act like you're the expert of something when you are far from it. And of course, I'm no expert at driving. I'm no expert at parenting. And I am definitely no expert when it comes to grammar. I had a doggone learning disability in reading. One more pet peeve, and it goes back to motorcycling. When somebody sits there and tells you that you don't know nothing about the brotherhood of bikers, but yet they are the first to sit there and talk bad about a brother. And they're wearing the same doggone patch. That's one reason why I don't wear a patch anymore. I don't need you to talk bad about me behind my back. I would prefer that you didn't talk bad about me at all. But if you're going to, at least do it to my face. That way we can have a reasonable conversation about it and come to a consensus. That's what respect is based off of. See, I'm a civilized human being, and I want to make sure that we handle it like civilized human beings, and not just sit there and talk bad about one another, because that goes against everything that there is when you call it the brotherhood. I'm going to tell you something. These 2 wheels do not make you a sister or a brother of anything. It just means that you went out there and bought yourself a vehicle that has 2 wheels. That's all it means. What makes you a brother or a sister of a biker lifestyle is when you understand that lifestyle. And it doesn't matter what patch you have on your back or what patches you wear on the front. When you see a bike on the side of the road down, you see a bike on the side of the road, it doesn't matter if that helmet is behind it, in front of it, or on that bike. You pull over, you check. Hey, are you okay? Don't sit there and talk about that kind of stuff on Facebook about how everybody don't do it the same way. Don't tell me that you had things to do. If you got things to do, I understand, but don't sit there and say you're not a brother, you don't understand the brotherhood, and then preach about what the brotherhood is, and then one day you find yourself in that same situation and don't call yourself out. It's the reason why I don't wear a patch, y'all. Quit wearing the patch for many different reasons, but that's one right there. The brotherhood is lost. When I find a group like I once had, when I find that, I might join again. But until then, I'm going to enjoy the wide open. And I hope you enjoy it too. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell to get notified when new videos come your way. Until next time, you ride safe and always get back home.